It's quarantine day 294. This is Scott Spears the First, the owner of the internet, reporting. I'm here in an undisclosed location. But I can tell you that this is the premier pickup spot for the most beautiful women in South Jersey. And it used to not be this place. It's now, considering the pandemic and, the quarantine, they've changed locations due to the situation at hand. Now, the virus is very sneaky. The virus has shut down all the restaurants at certain times. And the virus, we know, it can tell time, and it's very particular about the types of industry it's going to impact. Now, we know that the grocery shopping is done, it used to be a good place to pick up the opposite sex, and now it's the only place. Okay, now the best place is the Wegmans at Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I'm going to go ahead and let the secret out of the bag because I'm a team player. Okay, I'm not afraid of other people trying to encroach on my territory, but it's quarantine day 295 or 294 or something like. It's somewhere around there. Can't be completely sure. I know that what I have done, I've set up a trap, so to speak. I'm trying to trick the virus into. I've sent the virus into the future using a calendar. Okay, now when the rest of the world was celebrating the New Year, I took a shot. What I did was I changed the date on my calendar to 2025. Now, the virus, as we know, can tell what time it is. We know it can tell holidays. It has, we thought it was going to give us some kind of grace. We thought it had maybe some compassion for the human race. When it went to, actually, the virus has grouped together and formed some type of a Congress, democracy, and voted on whether or not it was going to continue to attack at 10 p.m. or 12 a.m. or possibly give us some kind of break, on this rotation around the sun. Now, this is our first rotation around the sun on planet Earth since the virus had invaded the planet. Now, it's come to be clear to me the virus has some kind of intelligence that we have not been able to identify completely. We know that the virus can count to 10, and the virus now, we know it can count to 8. We don't know that if it's counting to 8 or trying to count to 10 and running out of steam and can only get to 8, or maybe it knows how to subtract. Either way, we haven't figured out. We know that the virus is aware of the decimal system and is using it to determine how many people it can congest in one area before it can attack, will attack. Now, it has voted on the times of when and whether it will attack at all. And according to the way that the vote seems to have played out in Maryland, it is relentless. The virus has decided it voted against the human race and will not lift its time period or what time it will or will not attack. So it's keeping steady. It's consistent. It did not vote to eliminate the time for our holiday. Now, the fact that it was able to recognize the human holiday, or we don't know that it was, we could just sense the fact that we have gone around the sun one more time. We don't know the extent of its knowledge. Now, it's a surprise to me. Everything is now completely surprised. Now, I wasn't expecting this virus to have the intelligence, the brain power that it has exhibited so far. This virus, it can detect how far it is from a perimeter, from certain establishments. Now, the virus has a very particular what types of establishments. The virus, for some reason, is very interested and very aggressive towards government installations such as mostly we've identified the DMV. The Department of Motor Vehicles is completely swamped with the virus. You cannot enter or get near a Department of Motor Vehicle without an appointment, and all the appointments are set up for 2 months down the road. You can't. It's filled up from the calendar. Now, I'm not sure of all their other requirements to get in. I don't know if you have to go through a sanitation tent or not, but we know that the virus doesn't have a presence in the Walmart or Target or anything online. So what I've decided, I've told, we're going to pass the word to, we're going to put all the Department of Motor Vehicle operations into the Walmarts. So going forward, to keep our motor vehicles, everything in compliance, we're going to go ahead and we're moving the DMV facility operations into the Walmart. Contact your local Walmart and see how they're going to handle the license and registration part of it. Now, Amazon, they're going to pick up the part because they're good at what they're doing. They're going to go ahead and be handling the delivery of the license plates. The Department of Motor Vehicles cannot do it at this time. They are under attack. For some reason, we don't know why, but the Department of Motor Vehicles is inaccessible, and we're going to have to shift gears and move our operations. Now, we also know, and as I made you aware, and I don't have any update on this, but I just want to get the news out. The virus, it will not attack if you are in a cylindrical aluminum habitat. It does not attack. We thought that maybe the virus was afraid to fly. The virus would not. You could put 300 people into a plane elbow to elbow, and the virus will not attack. And I didn't want to release that information and jump to conclusions. So it came to find out that the virus will not attack even if the airplane is on a tarmac. So it may have something to do with it being a cylindrical aluminum tube. The virus is afraid of, or is repelled by, being inside of an aluminum cylindrical tube. Or we don't know if maybe it's claustrophobic. But then again, this virus shifts and mutates all the time. So I'm setting up our operations we're going to repurpose all used airline fuselages and turn them into habitats to protect ourselves from this Chinese coronavirus. Now, we know that the virus is unpredictable as it possibly can be. I'm going with what information I have. To this date, this is what we know. The virus can count to 10, can count to 8, possibly trying to count to 10, and it's dying off at 8. This could be a good sign. It could be wearing down. It could be that it only has maybe 20 counts in it, and it's already used up 18. Maybe next time it can only count to 2. We don't know. I don't know how this virus operates. I have theories that have yet to be proven. Now, this virus is so smart. I'm already determined. I'm going to turn it in. It's going to be my accountant from now. I'm going to have this virus do my taxes. Okay? If it gets any smart, I'm going to have it do my homework. Now, it's quarantine day 294, and situation normal. Well, I'm here. Now, it doesn't matter what day it is. It could be it's Saturday, Friday, Tuesday. They're all the same. Every day for the last 294 days, pretty much the same to me. Only thing changes is the date. I hardly keep track of that. I know that it's quarantine day 294, possibly 295. And I'm pretty much worn out over this. I had enough, but I'm a trooper. I got to keep moving on. I'm trying to protect. I'm trying to, inform the people. I feel it's my duty as the owner of the internet to keep you posted and abreast of any changes and mutations that this virus may be exhibiting. So, from my knowledge, the virus is still hungry. The virus is trying to get into the restaurants, okay? And it may not be doing something about the food. It's like a repellent and an attractor at the same time. It's very confusing. If you have the food at your table, if you're at your table, the virus will not attack. You need your precautions specifically to get in. The virus is center located on the entranceways to the restaurants. Something you are doing. It could be the aroma of the food emanating from the kitchen that is like putting up some kind of a force field that's not allowing the virus to get into the restaurant. The virus congregates at the entrance of the restaurants. Therefore, we must have our masks at the entrance of the restaurants. Once you get to your table, the virus will not attack. Okay, but all precautions must be for your benefit, for your safety and mine. You must heed all precautions at the entranceways. Okay, now this we know. I'll fill you in as the changes come. Now, I don't know if the virus is getting more particular about, or it's getting less particular. I don't know. For some reason, it's starting to attack smaller and smaller groups. And I can recognize the difference between 8 and 10. And that scares me because it's getting smarter and smarter by the day. And I'm the smartest man on planet Earth. I'm Scott Spears the first, the owner of the internet. And if I'm confused about this virus and can't figure it out, then I feel sorry for the rest of you. I know you're confused. Just hang in there. Okay? We don't know if we're mid-pandemic. We don't know how long this pandemic is going to last. I say mid-pandemic. We're 278 days beyond the flattening of the curve. I'm convinced there's going to be no flattening of the curve. There wasn't flattening. It doesn't happen. You start to see a curve. There's no flattening of anything. So the virus has got us. We cannot predict this virus whatsoever. Okay? But I've sent the virus into the future. For the virus thinks now that it's 2025. I sent the virus into the future where it knows that by 2025 we will have herd immunity. It will be rendered impotent, unable to attack us. The virus can read time. It can read a clock. So I'm hoping for against all hope that the virus can read that calendar as well. Now, if this works, I hope it will. I cannot promise anything at this point, but if the virus is convinced that the year is 2025 and it knows enough to know that it will be impotent and ineffective because of herd immunity, the virus will wither out and die. And if this happens, you're welcome. I've saved planet Earth from certain destruction from this virus. It took me some time. It's a trial and error, people. It's a Hail Mary. It ain't going to hurt to try. You got to try. So if the virus is convinced or tricked into believing it's 2025, then we're good. Now, it's possible. It's possible. It's been working with my clock every night. Not every night, but if I want to stay up past 10, I change my clocks back to, I stop and pull out the battery at 9:45 and the virus does not attack. So it can read a clock. It's only one step away. It's only one step away from being able to read a calendar. Now, I've been trying to be ahead of this virus. And as you see me since quarantine day 14, I've been one step ahead of this thing every step of the way. And once again, I'm taking a shot at it. Now, we'll know soon enough whether this virus has detected and is convinced that I sent it into 2025 at the stroke of midnight on quarantine day 293. And it will remain there, impotent, unaware that it has been outsmarted by Scott Spears the First, the owner of the internet. Now, I've risked myself and my reputation and my very well-being and to sacrifice myself for the world. And, I would, if I'm going to go out, I'm going to go out like a hero. It knows who I am. And if it is able to determine that I've tricked it or somehow seeks some kind of a revenge or retribution for me challenging it, then I could be in danger. So it's a risk, but I'm willing to take it. I'll be the last person on planet